Hello once again, back at it with the Haphazard Universe channel and your commentary host, traveling the country, getting his heart crushed by vicious mixes of Vixen. Yeah, well, don't give your heart out unless you want it crushed. And should have remembered that part. But I like to forget on a semi-occasional basis and open up that life and love to another decimation of character and feeling. So, what else is new around here, around Chia? Well, a lot, actually. I had a great dissension in my life recently, but I've had some uplifting details. One of the dissensions was the $12,000 it cost me to fix this car and get it back into roadworthy condition. You notice that loud sound isn't in this particular video because that was my right rear wheel bearing, which was replaced just a couple of days ago. I don't like to get into too much of personal issues with myself and my emotions and feelings, even though I convey those in a tremendous way. Tremendous. So I'm told. I don't see it personally. There's so many things I've got blinders on to that other people make comment and viewpoints about. Cool. So what's going on here and now with the Haphazard Universe is I had taken on a massive mountain, basically, to move, and due to the financial digression or oppression that I recently underwent because of my car. And I hate, but I'm really not that drawn to give excuses, give information, give data, give reasons, but excuses? Right. So I was going to show up to the mountain man's with his recovery on his ability to keep his farm and had to put it into my car just to show up and give him empty hands and a story. That doesn't bode well for me, and I am commonly capable of more, but just fixing the car along the way from Minnesota to Oregon and back, which is usually a 3-day trip, well, 6 days total for me. And no, it's 21 days, $12,000, and a whole lot of agony and stress. That's what happened there and then. But the car's quieter, and my recordings will be better if I keep making them in the car. I'll probably have to, because I left my computer at the mountain man's, on the mountain, expecting to be back soon with his relief and more than a story. However, unfortunately, I have been unable to accomplish these things. I've had to recreate my clientele, my customer base, from basically a dry situation, aka flour, to a oil situation in processed gummies, dabs, and such. And whoops, I might have just said something that is a cancellation of YouTube by censorship. Now, I think they like me too much. I really don't, I kind of lead people in both ways, and very, very often in my conversation, or several different directions. So, yeah, with me personally, I have found that people seem to like to, they actually enjoy taking your pains and your pressures and laughing about them, making them a joke. I personally don't do that. I've run into an absolute hypocrite who considers themselves to be a humanitarian by, helping people that are homeless or don't have shelters, and spending all of their time feeding the needy. In this way, they can. There's a few different reasons for that. True humanitarianism is a rare thing, especially when you look at how the same person treats other people, and that's a big deal. In not just how you treat the general public, which is what this whole giving and transporting goods of donated goods and giving them as if they, you're the person that's doing it, as if there were no replacement for you. And right, so we each see in our own little universes different things for ourselves and for other people. I try and give my intentions and my emotions, my thoughts and feelings openly, but am I really doing that? Am I creating a facade? Is it just another mask? These are questions I ask myself. I try to put myself in other people's shoes. When they treat me a certain way, I consider, well, why? I mean, if I were that person, would I have done that in that way? And so many times I'm just befuddled by the actions of others to try to justify what they had done, and why they had done it in the way they had done it. And could I do that? I mean, could I, if I were in the same shoes, would I handle things that same way? And if I did handle them that way, why would I? So it's all a part of self-evaluation in how we see what we've done to other people and ourselves, and how we think of ourselves in our great humanitarian ways. I've tried to do what I can now. I am stuck once again, and I will be in this loop for quite some time. I can see it. It's the writing on the wall sort of a thing, where if I had a way out, man, I'd be on it like stink on a gorilla. But I don't see a way out right now. I do see how I've been kicked around and treated like shit, and I try to understand why a person does that. I try to have some understanding, and I only can come up with shallow terms like sadism and self-propriety. It's not descriptive enough for me personally. I would like to get down into the nitty-gritty of why, I'm called in to assist and then kicked in the balls, or called in to be a pal and then given nothing but I'm seeing too much of you sort of thing when I was being called in the first place. So, it's a painful scenario for me, and for me not to, attack the situation rather than evaluate without, dissension in my, calling other people names and being petty about my feelings. Right. So in the final analysis, to process this as a recording and say, well, what are you really talking about here? I'm talking about everybody and the way they see themselves and the way they see others and the way they treat themselves and the way they treat others. Sorry about the surface of the moon here. Right. So, onward through the fog. At this particular juncture, I have been processing new items and having to redevelop a clientele and recreate my life and energies. And I've opened my heart up to be stomped on with a smile and a laugh by a group of people that apparently just think it's great to crush people and laugh about it. But at the same time, they're wonderful humanitarians and love everybody. So it's an oxymoronic detail and situation that I'm still dealing with, still what you might call figuring out, handling emotionally, and at the same time, I've got work to do. And I'm doing that work. Slowed down once again by the almighty dollar, by the $12,000 it took to repair this piece of car that I'm driving. And yeah, and the terms for that are, you know, people have always got such great input. Get rid of that car. Yeah, right after you put $12,000 into something, you're going to dump it. It's an investment, gang. And unfortunately, one that has drawn me back a bit. So these are the ways of the haphazard universe in these times with Lance Renard. And little by little, I'm going to keep showing you stuff. Hopefully be a little more informative and detailed. And if you have any questions, like about exactly what I'm doing, right, keep them to yourself. Right, no, I'll try not to be abusive, especially to you guys. I just want to let you know what's going on out of my 700 and some subscribers. And would like to get back out there and show anomalies of the earth, to show the waves in the land. But whenever you drive and drive over long periods of distance, look at that as once an ocean and once waves. When you look at these mountainous terrain and flows in the earth, it absolutely makes sense when you look at that. To me it does. And I see a lot of that, and I've seen a lot of it. So, yeah, thanks for watching this particularly strange, short, and emotional haphazard production with your host, Lance Renard. And I will return with more curious details and information depending on how my life flows. At this particular juncture, I am putting a steel door on the old heart area and keeping away from trying to care about people that are close to me. You know, just give general caring throughout my channel. Alright guys, thanks for playing. We'll talk to you soon. Like, comment, and subscribe. Or not, it's fine. And it's usually when I release one of these videos, I will lose 5 subscribers anyway. I don't know why. It's every fucking time, and it's been for a year now. My first video was last year in February 22nd, and I was more focused on things that I found curious and possibly true. So again, I will end this video with a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will return with more pertinent data concerning the progress of the haphazard universe. Thanks for playing, guys. Talk to you later.